Hello, how are you? Today we're going to talk about using preterite and imperfect together. And that's like the culmination of this class. That's what we have been trying to prepare for during the last chapters. We have gone through all the forms in the preterite, then we have studied the imperfecto, and now we need to use them together. And, this is completely different from English. In English, we don't have preterite and imperfect, we only have preterite. And so you need to pay attention to this. And it's very, very easy to do if once you understand the basics of the thing. The main thing to tell you is please don't translate, because it doesn't work when you translate. If you want to say, oh, when I use the preterite, it's like the English preterite, and then when I use the imperfect, it's something like I was studying or I was doing something. Okay, that doesn't work. So don't try to do that. You need to understand what I'm gonna tell you in this video. To do that, I have chosen to write a short story here with 3 sentences. John insulted me, I slapped him, and John was drunk. Let's try to write this in Spanish. Remember, I'm not translating word by word, doesn't work. So I just use the English version first because I don't want anybody to get lost in this. Okay, so I say, Juan me insultó, yo le di una bofetada, Juan estaba borracho. Dar una bofetada means to slap. Okay, here I have used one preterite, insultó, insulted. Yo le di una bofetada, another preterite from the verb dar, to give. Y él estaba borracho. Here, sorry, is borracho, no borracho. Okay, estaba is an imperfect. So I have 2 preterites and 1 imperfect. Why I have done that? Okay, let's try to do a little experiment. Suppose that I change the order of the first 2 sentences. If I could write something like this. Yo le di una bofetada, Juan me insultó. You see that here we still have a story, but it's a different story. First I slap him, then he insults me. So he insults me because I slap him. In the first version, he insults me and then I slap him, and that's the story is completely different. In the first one, Juan starts the fight. In the second one, I start the fight. So the thing is, when you have a preterite, insultó, di, you cannot change the order of the sentences without changing the story. Why? Because preterite is complete actions. Every action is complete. One thing happens completely, and then another thing happens, and it's over, and then another thing happens, and it's over. So it's a sequence of completed actions in a very specific order. If you change the order of these sentences, you change the story, and the sentences don't overlap. He insulted me, that's it, and then I slapped him, after he insulted me. What happens with Juan estaba borracho? Okay, could I change this and put it here, up here? Yes, I could, because Juan estaba borracho, Juan me insultó, yo le di una bofetada. That makes sense. I can change estaba borracho and put it here after insultó. Okay. Or at the end, as we had it at the why? Because he is drunk all the time during the whole story. It's an ongoing action. Doesn't have a beginning or an end. We don't know when he started drinking, or we don't know when he's gonna sober up. We don't know. The only thing we know is that during the story, with these actions, he was drunk, and this is ongoing. You see, that's the difference. So you have preterite, complete actions in a specific order that you cannot change, because if you change it, you change the story. And imperfect, an ongoing action that can be moved around because it happens while other things are happening. It's background information, it's ongoing things that happen while the main action happens, the slapping and insulting. You see, that's the difference between both. And that's what you need to look for. Remember the exercise we did with vertigo? Okay, we're gonna do that again, but the test is slightly different because now you have some sentences that you need to write in imperfect. How do you know? Because you need to experiment. You need to see, okay, can I move this around? And then if you can move the sentence, if it doesn't matter if it's the number 1 or number 4, then yes, it's great, it's imperfect. But if it has a specific order, if you have to say, oh, he, first he felt, then the policeman felt, or whatever it is, and if it's a specific order, it has to be in preterite. So that's the most important thing. Another important thing, and that's the last thing I need to tell you, is when you have verbs that express thoughts or desires or intentions, usually in Spanish you use the imperfect. Why? Because I'm going to give you an example. If you say, yo quería ir al cine. Yo fui al Afkin para ver una película. Okay, I wanted to go to the movies. I went to Lafkin to watch a movie. Okay, what's the thing here? Okay, if you use quise, this is complete, so it's over. When you go to Lafkin, you don't want to go to the movies anymore because you don't want it anymore. It's finished. It's complete. You see, so intentions are imperfect because when you go to Lafkin here, you still want to go the movie. You don't if you use preterite, you specify that desire that you had for some reason it was over when you did the next thing. So quería, deseaba, intentaba. For instance, when you use quise in preterite in a story, what you're saying is I tried, I wanted, but I stopped wanting it. So I tried and I didn't do it, right? So that's important. Verbs of intention, of desire, of thought are usually in imperfect, except when you want to specify that thought or that desire was over, it was completed, yet didn't lasted through the next sentence. It's over before the next sentence happens. Okay, I hope that this is going to be useful for you. And we're going to have 3 exercises and a quiz with preterite and imperfect. The first one is vertigo, and the 2 others are with little comic strips, sorry. And the second one I couldn't do as a quiz because I couldn't get the images outside the text. So I'm sorry about that, but I think you will be able to do it. And I wish you luck. And that's the last thing we're gonna do this semester. So pay attention because this is important. And okay, another thing that is very, very important, you need to remember all those forms, all the preterite and irregular preterite and preterite with stem change, and then the imperfecto. Imperfecto only has 3 irregulars, iba, era, and veía, so it's easier. But still, all those forms are very important, and you need to remember them. So, okay, good luck for your tareas and the quiz. And okay, the next thing we do is the review for the final exam and then the final exam. Have a great day.